Hi, it's Jayne Storey. We've talked a lot in these videos about how to reduce mental interference and control your biochemistry. So that's your nerves, adrenaline, and your anxiety, or even your excitement if you're about to putt for the championship. And all of those things can be done quite simply through the practice or the deep practice of mindfulness and meditation. I'd like now to start introducing you to some other principles, things which I consider to be the foundations of effortless golf. And these are biomechanical principles upon which a good golf swing is really supported and enhanced. If you don't engage proper biomechanics, no matter how technically correct your swing, it won't be fully supported. It won't have a foundation upon which it can rest. And the swing can break down. The moving parts come out of sync because you either try too hard or think too much, or you go into shallow breathing. And all of those things just sort of chip away at the fluidity of your swing. So rather than having a mental to-do list of all the things you need to get right, you might be well advised to focus on these biomechanical principles. And these principles come from the martial arts, and they are part of sports science now. So the first principle, the first thing I'd like to talk about is your feet. So as all movement comes from the ground upwards, we'll start by talking about the feet. If you've read Michael Murphy's classic book, Golf in the Kingdom, he talks about having a solid place to swing from. And this solid place, of course, has to be in the feet. The great Jack Nicklaus, who set me off on this path of developing my system of Tai Chi principles and other martial arts principles for better golf, Jack Nicklaus said that golf is played with the feet. And the great Ben Hogan, he knew and he wrote about the fact that the golf swing comes from the ground upwards. So the principle I'd like to introduce you to, and this is not mainstream golf wisdom, this is biomechanics, ancient biomechanical principles. The principle is where your weight should be placed on the feet. Now I see many golfers, even the tour professionals, with their weight on the front of the foot, on the balls of the feet, or towards the front of the feet. And to my way of thinking, when that happens, the upper body almost hangs out in space over the lower body. It's not really connected to the lower body. So my students have had great results just by focusing on keeping their weight on the front part of the heels. So if I get my shoe here and show you, so it's going to be just about there, the front part of your heel on both feet. If you've ever been to an osteopath or a physiotherapist, you go into their therapy room and you'll see a chart on the wall of the human skeleton. And when the head is upright, when the neck is aligned, when the musculoskeletal system is perfectly balanced and has good posture, then the weight always comes down into the front part of each heel. So when you're at setup, when you're at the address position, find it within yourself, find that true balance, your own equilibrium. Keep the weight on the front part of your feet at setup and try to keep the weight there throughout the swing. It's important that you feel the movement rather than thinking through this mental to-do list of all the things to get right. Jack Nicklaus again talked about swing feelings. So the most important thing of all, the foundation upon which a good golf swing is built, is the connection of your feet to the ground. really being balanced, grounded, and having this very, very strong, secure foundation. And if you get those things right, even if your swing might be a little poor, or you might be slightly off on a particular day, you will still have a good result. The ball will still go where you want it to go. So remember, all movement comes from the ground upwards, and the correct place to position your weight is on the front part of your heels. So I have a full training program which is available on audio, deep practices, exercises for the driving range, and specific applications to the short game. So you can find that audio program, and you can also sign up for a free newsletter at my website, chi-performance.com. And if you want to find out more about me, you can go to jaynestorey.com. That's Jayne with a Y and Storey with an EY.